Every day, you make thousands of decisions. You choose what to buy, who to trust, what to believe. But what if these choices were never really yours? What if invisible forces were shaping them before you even realized it? The truth is, most of what we call decisions are not made in the conscious part of our minds. They are influenced, nudged, and sometimes completely manipulated by forces we don't see. From the way news is written to the way social media decides what appears on your feed, your reality is not as independent as you think. How our brains are programmed. Human brains are wired for shortcuts. Instead of carefully analyzing every decision, we rely on mental tricks, patterns that save time. But these shortcuts come with a price. They make us easy to manipulate. Take priming, for example. If you see the word yellow and then I ask you to name a fruit, you're more likely to say banana. That's priming in action. The smallest hint can push your thoughts in a specific direction. Now, imagine this happening on a large scale. You see the same idea repeated in ads, in news stories, in conversations. Soon, it starts to feel like the truth, even if it isn't. Then there's anchoring, the way our first exposure to information shapes what we think is normal. If an online store first shows you a jacket for $500 and then offers one for $100, the second one feels like a bargain. But was it really? Or did they just set your expectations? And then there's social proof, one of the most powerful forces of all. We look at what others are doing to decide what we should do. If a post has millions of likes, it must be important. If everyone is buying a product, it must be good. But what if those likes were bought? What if those people were manipulated first? Who decides what you see? The hidden hands behind your choices. Most people assume they have free access to information, but in reality, everything we see online is carefully controlled by algorithms designed to keep us engaged. They learn what makes us react, then feed us more of it. If you click on one article about a conspiracy theory, suddenly your entire feed is filled with similar ideas. It's not because they're true, it's because that content keeps you scrolling. And it's not just social media. News channels, politicians, advertisers, all use these same psychological tricks to shape what we believe. Ever noticed how breaking news often sounds urgent, even when nothing has actually changed? Words like crisis, danger, and breaking are used to trigger fear. Fear makes us pay attention, and when we're afraid, we're easier to control. Advertising works the same way. Brands don't just sell products, they sell emotions. A luxury car is never just about the engine, it's about status. A skincare brand doesn't just promise clear skin, it promises confidence. The goal is not to inform you, it's to make you feel something strong enough that you don't stop to question the decision. How we've been manipulated without knowing history is full of examples of how people have been influenced without realizing it. One of the most famous was an experiment conducted by psychologist Solomon Asch. He showed participants a series of lines and asked them which one was the longest. The correct answer was obvious. But when other people in the room, all actors, gave the wrong answer, the real participant often went along with them, despite knowing they were wrong. The pressure to conform was stronger than logic. It's not just experiments. In recent years, companies have used personal data to manipulate elections. The Cambridge Analytica scandal proved that if you know enough about someone, what they like, what they fear, what makes them angry, you can craft messages that change the way they vote. They didn't have to convince people. They just had to show them the right content at the right time in the right emotional state. And it worked. Governments, media, corporations, they all use these tactics, repeating lies until they sound true, showing only one side of a story, using colors, sounds, and words designed to trigger a reaction before we even think. It happens so often that we don't even notice anymore. Are you really in control? Most people like to believe they are too smart to be manipulated, but the most dangerous influence is the one you don't see. If you don't believe you're being manipulated, you won't try to resist it. So, the next time you feel strongly about something, ask yourself, where did that thought come from? The next time you buy something impulsively, was it your idea? Or did someone plant it in your mind? Understanding these influences is the first step to breaking free from them. Because real freedom isn't about making choices. It's about knowing when those choices were made for you.